Ruben Amorim has officially managed his first game as Manchester United manager, a 1-1 draw with newly promoted Ipswich, but there was actually some positives in that performance which I will be going over. But before I begin, if you are new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button too, it'll be greatly appreciated. Let us start where, United are pressing high and look at the different shape and sort of the structure of this. Obviously, you've got Amad Diallo here, taking a look at Leif Davis. This is what the wing backs are required to do. They're required to press high, to be involved in that press, not to sit back into that back five shape. Ahmad did this really, really nicely here. You've obviously got Xerxes, the one that's going to trigger the press. I do feel like to play in that right attacking mid sort of role where Xerxes was, you've got to be a really aggressive presser. And that's why I feel like Bruno is more suited to that. In the second half, he obviously played a bit deeper, but in the first half, he was playing in those pockets, in those channels, and he can press a lot better than Xerxes. You obviously have Holand, the centre forward, involved there, kind of man marking here, Morsi, I think that is, then the opportunity to go and press there. So I feel like from those pressing scenarios, United did force Ipswich to go long, but the duels lost from Delict was really, really poor. Because, I mean, you can formulate a really nice triangle here on the right hand side of the picture. There's this connectivity. Maybe this is where you could require, I think it's Dallo playing here or Garnacho. They've got to be a lot higher. Amorim wants you to be really aggressive in that first phase of the press, and I feel like maybe that's where United could improve. Obviously, it's still the first game, but we could already see ideas here from Amorim to press high and be aggressive from those number 10s, but also the 9 as well. Here we go, another example of that press. Morsi, number 5, is on the ball currently. And look at the United players. That's what Amorim is going to absolutely love to see. Rashford, aggressive in there. Bruno as well, just here. Casemiro's there as well. That is what the two midfielders are meant to do. There's got to be this telepathy between them. When Casemiro goes, Eriksen must be the one sitting to look after the space here. That is what Amorim ball is all about. Once that one midfielder in that pivot goes to press, the other one must recognize this and stay back, because if you're too aggressive there, you're going to lose, you're going to lose so much space to your position, and they're going to be in a better opportunity to go and score. Really noticeable here, the positioning of Evans tight on Amari Hutchinson. I know that Amari Hutchinson really terrorized Evans in this game, but this is what you want to be seeing. Maybe this is a Euro in the wide centre-back role or a Martinez. They'll be a lot better in those duels against the wingers to be this aggressive. We know Martinez is a fantastic defender when he can be aggressive, so I have no worries. It's good to see Evans here. Martinez will do this really, really nicely. Obviously, I feel one player who Amorim will be disappointed at is just sneaking into the frame is Diogo Dallo. He was coming inside too much. He was a bit conservative with the press. As a wing back, you need to be a lot more aggressive. It will come though. He will learn the role. He will know that he doesn't have to come inside a lot, or he doesn't have to go deep to defend. But you can already tell from that forward line, Garnacho as well there, Rashford's ready to go in there. Everybody is focused on someone that they must win a duel against. And when you've got that, it's really, really positive for a manager. Now on to those attacking scenarios. Obviously, United in that first half, I feel like they were limited, didn't really have much to offer going forward except from the goal. And that's also part of the reason I don't want to really analyse the goal in this footage, because I feel like that wasn't a repeat scenario enough for it to be analysed. But here is what Amorim would love to see. Garnacho making those little runs into the pockets of spaces. Dallo, when he receives this ball, his first thought has to be to play it into this channel, and it's that telepathy, the understanding. It will come with more games played. I think Garnacho did try to make those runs but didn't receive it enough. You've also got here Eriksen as well. I feel like he didn't have the legs in this game, but we know he's so good technically on the ball. Here, an opportunity for him to receive it, turn into this space there, and that's where the wing back should be. That's where the wing back should be. The wing back should be occupying this space here. And that's probably the criticism from Amorim. These zones were not being occupied enough. This frame doesn't show any players in that backstick zone, because what Amorim wants to do, every attacking zone, every third has to be occupied by a United player. That's what the wing backs are meant to offer. Extra options in those wide areas, so the number 10s, the inside forwards, they can be as narrow as possible. Here we only have Rashford, Eriksen, Garnacho and Dallo involved in this attack. That is really, really poor. There's got to be more numbers up there, but I liked to see Garnacho making that run into that pocket. Eriksen coming close to receive it. I was one of those pivot players. That is what you want to be seeing. And you can, again, of course, make a tight triangle connectivity there between the players. Here we have a different example, this time of build-up. Mazraoui on the ball, who I think was absolutely superb. He's just a fantastic player, the sort of player who can fill in pretty much any sort of role, whether that's wing back or wide centre half. He showed his quality in there. But I want to really talk about De Ligt's role in here. As the centre back, he's required to push higher up the pitch, and essentially the build-up comes from Onana, Johnny Evans and Mazraoui. Those are the three centre halves essentially in Amorim's build-up. And then you've got obviously Casemiro here. He's got to be in a better position to probably receive that ball. But you can already see what Amorim is looking for. He's looking for more of an overload in those midfield areas when United are building up. We obviously again see the role of Amad coming deep to receive the ball. This is what Amorim's going to be liking to see, De Ligt being brave to go into this initial position. That is nice. Amad being in a nice position to receive the ball. Maybe his body position could be better. He must be maybe inside the pitch to open the pitch up. We heard Amorim talking in the week. You're going to see differences about how players shape up to receive passes. Maybe here Amad's body position could be a bit more positive, but the fact he's there is really, really good. I feel like he had a great game. Eriksen, I feel like he's got to take more responsibility to receive the ball as well. Try and maybe come into this pocket, into this channel. Because obviously at Sporting Lisbon, you had, I think it was Morita, who would be in those pockets to receive the ball. And then you have Holand in the Casemiro role here, in a position to receive the ball too. So maybe those pivot players probably could have done a lot better. But from De Ligt, Mazraoui receiving, Onana playing a bit high in that centre-back role, essentially. Amad here as well. It's really, really good. Maybe again, though, Diogo Dalot's got to be here to receive it. And I feel like that's why he was a bit confused today, Dalot, being too high, too inside. But it will come with time, I really do think. But it was positive to see this setup under Amorim, and this is something I feel like will definitely improve over time. Finally, I just want to touch up on this about Rasmus Holand. I really do think he was good when he came off the bench, and United fans are a bit too cruel. The amount of times he would find himself in those channels was so good to see. Gyökeres at Sporting, he would be in these positions, and it's just repeating this over and over again. Manchester United will find some joy. Xerxes probably got to be a quick bit better here, bit quicker, making these runs in behind here. Garnacho as well, could he come inside as well? It's about maximizing the opportunities for the forward to find a pass. Hoyland, as much as a channel runner he will be in Amorim's system, he's going to need those 10s behind him to make runs which are suitable. Maybe Amad as well could be a bit higher, supporting on the overlap. It's small details like this, but it was so encouraging to see Rasmus Hoyland high in those channels, receiving the ball, eyeball to eyeball with the defender. This is what Amorim's going to love to see, and it was great, against Ipswich that we saw Rasmus doing this. Although it wasn't the most perfect performance, there was signs of what is going to happen in the future. To conclude the video, let us look at the average positioning of the United players. Amorim did say that you're going to see an idea, and we certainly did, that three-back of Evans, De Ligt and Mazraoui, Diallo in that wing-back role with Dalot. Maybe the criticism is the close nature of Rashford and Garnacho, and Bruno as well, maybe being too inside towards the left. Somebody's not in that right pocket space, in that right little channel. That can be improved over time. But again, you can see that 3-4-3 is essentially there. It's just building the understanding, the fluidity, and maybe just adding legs in that midfield is what's Manchester United's biggest problem, because it's not allowing them to sustain pressure, sustain the ball, keep their structure enough, because they simply don't have the legs to win the ball back and to defend in a resolute way. But I'm sure when Euro, Mainu and everyone is back, United will be in a better position.